Miss T.
Miss T.
Miss T.
Miss T. Miss T.
Miss T.
Miss T.
Miss T. Miss T.
Miss T.
Can't wait for you to meet Miss T. She is the T in T.
We're back. Welcome back to Sweet Tea Time. And I'm a little fired up right now because I was just in a coaching session with someone who I've been working with for the past almost 2 years. And I have them set goals and we work through how to achieve these goals. And there's one in particular that for whatever reason, I can't get her to pull the trigger on it. So this morning, we're having a session and she says, okay, I said, just give me one thing you're working towards. And she tells me, okay, well, I talked to a friend about me getting a house and she's going on and on about what this friend said about her credit report and this, that, and this, that. And she's saying all these things as if she's making progress towards the goal, right? But really what I'm hearing as she's saying is all the reasons she'll not be able to make progress towards this goal because she doesn't have this set of things in place. And so I stop her. And I told her, I said it when I stopped, I said, listen, don't get mad at me. But those all sound like things that you're doing so that you don't take this step. And so we banter a little bit about it, and she's insistent that she's following the instructions that I'm giving her. And then I ask her, so how many houses have you looked at? Everybody in the room is quiet now. She says, oh, well, do you mean like online? I said, no. How many houses have you physically gone to look at? And she says, well, none. So let me rewind. Been working with this person for a couple of years now. You want to know one of the first steps I gave this person? Go look at houses. If you want to buy a house, if you want to, move into something bigger, better, more, one of the first things you do is go take a look at some stuff, right? You want to go get a new car? Go look at the cars. You really don't know the exact thing you want. So the whole reason you go to look at things is so that you can say, okay, I like the rims on that one. I like the color on this one. I like that options on that one. And I like that this one does this, but this one don't do this. So it'll help you in your process of decision making. Most people don't do the simple step that leads to the complex outcome. Does that make sense? So sometimes what you have to accomplish, it looks like a big thing, but it's not a big thing. The big thing is you following the simple step. And so I asked how many houses. She said none. And I said, listen to me. If you really want this thing, you got to start with the fact that you don't want this thing. You're saying a thing, but your actions are demonstrating something else. And when your actions are demonstrating the opposite of what you're saying, stop everything, get a piece of paper, grab a pen, and sit with yourself and get the why of that. Otherwise, you're going to keep fighting yourself for something you say you want, but becoming your own enemy in the process of you growing, shifting, changing, and acquiring. And so I said, listen to me. What is it about this thing that you don't want? I said, what area are you looking to live in? Oh, I don't know. I think this area or this area. Do you understand one of the first things you got to know is where you going? If you're going to get a house, you got to know where you're going to go. Where? What house? Where? Like where? What community are you being drawn to? What is it your job that's making you feel like you need to move someplace? Is it the community of people that you spend the bulk of your time with that's compelling you to move to a different place? Like you gotta at least know the where before you can acquire the what. And so I'm not getting any of these answers. So that helped me understand that it's not an exterior thing, because there's houses for sale everywhere. It's an interior thing. There's something about this individual owning a home, their home, that they just can't make click inside of themselves for whatever reason. And so we take a different path. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up with you today is because I'm in a season ago. Like this year, if you're not going for it, like with your big dreams, your big goals, your big desires, you're missing it. I'm in a season of, oh my gosh, that just happened. You should be in that season too. And if there's any facet of your life that that's not happening with, there's some part of the interior growth healing process that still needs to be addressed. Now, for this particular individual, by the time we got done with the coaching session, she was in tears, but she wasn't crying because she was sad. She wasn't crying because she was mad. She was crying because she was free to move on and get her house. So the thing that we had to deal with, the interior thing, was for her growing up, the house, the happy home, the warmth of home wasn't a thing. She had trauma on top of trauma, challenge on top of challenge as it pertained to home and broken home. And so there was an underlying fear that, that would be repeated. Or what if I lose the house and we got to live in a car? Like all of those things were at work, but not in the forefront of her thinking and being, but in the background of her thinking and being because of conditioning. And most often you don't know these things until you put yourself in position to grow, and then those things are revealed. So never be one of those people that's comfortable where you at. There's always room for growth. There's always room for change. There's always room for you to be stronger, smarter, faster, better. But that doesn't happen until you get up and go do something, go be something, go find something, go build something. And so we couldn't get to the bottom of this hurt in her until she started the process of looking for a home. And so anyhow, after we were able to talk her through it and she was able to talk it out, again, sometimes you just got to get this stuff out of you. There are people that I work with that bury stuff for decades. I mean, the hurt, the pain, the shame, they sweep it under the proverbial rug inside of themselves and they don't deal with it. That elephant in the room of that thing that happened to you, it's always there and you don't even know how it's shaping your identity and also directing your course in life. And she had to get those things out of her in order for herself to move on. So for whatever reason, her level of comfort, her level of vulnerability, like the pressure had forced her into a place where it had to come out. And so by the time we finished the meeting, she had articulated the thing that was the thing. We could see the thing. And sometimes you're fighting for something or you're fighting with something and you don't even, it's like shadow boxing. You don't know what the thing is that you're fighting. But once she was able to do this, it identified the thing that she was fighting so she knows how to fight that thing. Does that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, leave a comment and I'll explain it further for you offline. So anyhow, she knew how to fight better forward as a result of this meeting. So now, she has all the steps, like, okay, the credit score, fill out the application and save up the money, 20% down, 10% down, first time homebuyer. She has all that stuff, all the practical stuff. What she didn't have was her own permission to have a home that she can build for her family for years, that her grandbabies could come to for Thanksgiving and Christmas, like all of that stuff that she'd not experienced, that she was afraid would elude her in this lifetime. She is now given herself permission to have those things. And as a result of the permission to have those things, the house, the steps to acquire it, the ways to fill it with nice things, the events to have, the housewarming party, the birthday parties, the Thanksgiving, their first Christmas, all of that stuff is presenting itself. And so my point in sharing all of this with you today is number one, whatever it is that you say you want, make sure you actually want it. Some people say, I want to be a millionaire. Well, I don't know. Some people say, I want a house. Well, I don't know. Do you? Some people say, I want this kind of car. You sure? You have to be very, very serious and honest with yourself about what you say you want. Now, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. You got to write stuff down. Because if it only exists here, sometimes it doesn't make sense until you articulate it in another way. And so taking the time around your goals, around your dreams, around your big things to document what you say you want so you can see what you're saying. Does that make sense? I get this all the time. They don't like people like us. They don't they don't lend to us, or they don't want to rent to me, or, sometimes it's not the world that's against you. Sometimes it's you. And until you start to really seriously assess, okay, is there a pattern here? I've been working on this for 2 years. Is there a pattern here? Every time I get this close to looking at a property, something comes up and I'm too busy for it. Or there's a catastrophe at work and I got to stay late, but I was supposed to go look at, this property over here. Like, look for the patterns, because your patterns are your tells. They tell about you. And most often, people don't realize how powerful they are, and it's easy to blame other people, but sometimes the sabotage is not coming from the outside. The sabotage is coming from the inside. I do recommend a book. I read this book a couple of times. It really helped me through a couple of seasons of my life. It's called The Mountain Is You. So if you've never heard of it, Google it. It's fantastic. Read it, study it. It's an easy read. And it'll most certainly help you by way of you understanding you. Because once you can get to the bottom of the malady, the brokenness, the hurt, the void, the challenge that exists inside of you, heal that, grow that, strengthen that, develop that, then everything outside changes. Everything outside becomes very, very easy. And so that's number one, is you want to get with yourself around this particular thing that you're not able to break through, and then find out what part of that is you, baby. And then if you need help, get some help. Get an accountability coach, get somebody that you can talk things through with, get some mentorship and support where someone can guide you through. Otherwise, you're going to stay in that thing. It's going to frustrate you and everybody around you because you keep talking about it, but you're not doing anything about it. So that's number one. You want to find out, this thing I want, why am I not doing it? I see a pattern here. Let me get with myself. It all starts with you. Never forget that. The other thing is, no matter what, keep taking steps toward it. So let's go back to the example of the house. No matter what, keep looking at houses. No matter what, get yourself a new key ring and say, one day soon, I'm going to have keys to my brand new house. Keep taking steps toward it. What kind of paint are you going to paint the walls? Go to Home Depot, look at paint. What's your color scheme for the master bedroom? Start cutting out pictures and getting catalogs. Go to IKEA and start designing your rooms. No matter where you are interiorly, exteriorly, keep taking steps to the goal. The more you take steps to the goal, it'll work in concert with whatever it is that you have to do by way of growth and healing on the inside. So that's number two. Number one is get with you and find out where the pattern is, why you keep stopping the stuff from the inside so you can heal. Number two is keep taking steps. Number three, stop overthinking this. I think we complicate things. I think life is easier than how we make it. Stop overthinking this. Should you have a house? Yes. Or should you have what you want? Yes. Yes. Should you enjoy the life you have by doing adventurous things and acquiring nice things for you and your family? Yes. The answer is 100% yes. Stop overthinking the how. Stop overthinking the why. Stop overthinking the what. Just agree. Yes. And I allow that for me. I allow that for my family. And that's something I wrestled with. But what if, how about this? And what if, and this is a lot. What if the mortgage is a lot? What is it? But what if it's not? Just, okay. Yes, I want that. I will have that. What are my steps? And the fourth thing I would say is develop some audacity. Like, let me tell you what that is. That's boldness, a daring spirit, a resolve. Make sure that you have the confidence or just some level of audacity to go after what you say you want. Most people, they don't even approach their goals. They approach their goals like, well, maybe and if, and it would be nice, some wishful thinking stuff. At some point, you're going to have to put on your bold pants and go get it. Go take it. And I think that's a step that most people miss, is they don't demonstrate the level of audacity needed in order to acquire big things, cool things, like things that are not normal, Like, I like that kind of stuff because it suggests that I have an audacity when it comes to my dreams and my goals. So be bold about what you say you want. Don't say it, but let your life action demonstrate that you are for you winning. And that's a big thing, because you understand, if you do that, that'll spread and spill out and overspray onto everybody around you. And then you'll start empowering other people to show up in life bold and go after the things that they want. Now I have a warning for you. Sometimes you'll get these steps from a mentor. For me, I get steps because I pray. But sometimes you'll get these steps. There's a reward that comes to those who are obedient. You know, your kids get a cookie if they do something right, they clean their room, they get an allowance or something like that. It is the very same for you as an adult. If you take the steps that life is suggesting that you take, and you just obey it and you practice the discipline and growing in it, there is fruit that you get as a result. There's blessing that you get as a result. There's outcomes that you get that nobody else is going to get because you've practiced obedience. The warning is, there is also a fruit for disobedience. It's on the same spectrum. So if you do not do this thing, if you do not go after this goal that you're desiring and inspired to do anyway, but if you choose to not take the steps, listen to me, there is a return on your disobedience. And it doesn't just affect you. It affects everybody that comes after you, everyone in proximity of you. And I can think of the many times that I just didn't obey or honor myself by taking these steps that would cause me to grow because of fear, because I didn't think I had the money or whatever. But I'll tell you, the people that it hurt the most, sure, it hurt me. You know, it messed with my self-esteem. It messed with my confidence. But the people it really hurt, my kids, my family, my friends, the people that I served through my company, like, they didn't get what they were supposed to get as a result of me taking the steps that I was supposed to take. So I'm not suggesting that you live your life for others, but if you really want something eye-opening to think about, your life is about other people. It just is. And how you show up in life affects how other people are able to live out their lives. So just, you know, the warning as I land this is, you want to keep in mind that even though it's hard, whatever your big thing is that you're going towards, the process may be difficult and intimidating, but know this. If you just keep taking steps toward it, resolve in yourself that you're going to be bold and do this thing and have the courage and confidence to go for your dreams, it'll help other people. And if you don't, there's the potential that it will hurt other people. And sometimes when I'm faced with doing really big things, and I do big things because I have to do big things because it helps a lot of people have a better life. I mean, this podcast is a big thing to me. I'm a very private person, but I'm doing this podcast. It's a big thing to me. But there's 7 billion people on the planet. My hope and my prayer is at least one person will be helped by this. And so me doing this thing, you know, the outcome of me doing this thing is that people are helped. And I do really big things, and it's really hard sometimes. But I keep in the forefront and in the background of my mind and on walls and in notebooks that, you know, my mission in life is to help other people have a better life. And so that is sometimes a driving factor behind continuing to press forward and take steps. So the hope for you is that you look at the big things on your list, your goals, your dreams, your desires, the desires of your heart, and you give yourself permission to go for it. You give yourself permission to do the interior work to prepare you to have it. And then you don't practice things like self-sabotage. You got to allow it. You got to allow it. And no matter what, keep taking steps toward it. Never stop taking steps until it becomes a reality in your life. and keep that warning in the forefront of your mind. If you do it, great for you and everybody. If you don't, not so great for you and other people. So if you are in a season where it is time for you to go, make sure you share this. Make sure you listen. Make sure you like it. Make sure you comment if you have any questions, because the ultimate goal, especially in this year and this season that we're in, is that we accomplish, the peak of our very, very, very best. So as we transition out of this year into the next, we'll be ready for more, and we'll be ready for the best, and we'll be ready to thrive in ways that we dream of or we haven't yet dreamed of. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking and subscribing and commenting. And make sure you circle back next week. I'm confident I'll have something else amazing to share with you. And I look forward to hearing back from you all. And thank you for tuning in to my big hard thing that I'm doing that I just went for it on, called Sweet Tea Time. Take care. We'll see you soon.